Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Kelly. I am the chairman. We have Robert McNeil, Ian Maxwell, Roger Charlo, and Terry Phelan here as board members of the Proceeds Allocation Board. We have Rich Smith, Trish Wilson, and Karen as staff members here as well. It's a scheduled board meeting. It has been duly noticed as required by the open meetings law. With that, we have a proposed agenda in front of us. Does anybody have any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Motion made by Bob McNeil, seconded by Ian Maxwell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Before we move forward, the members were polled to see if there are any possible conflicts of interest. I have a potential or perceived conflict with the application in front of us today because I am a paid member of the IDA, Local Development Corporation, and the IDA, which is working with Kingston Pharma on this project. Robert, you had discussed, I believe, prior to the meeting that there may be a perceived conflict with you as a board member of the River Valley agency, not an actual conflict. So you will be able to vote today, is that?
I will. This company's come before the RVRTA. After consultation with Power Authority attorneys and Eric Gustafson, I'm not going to make a motion, but I can vote.
Okay. Nobody else had any perceived or potential or actual conflicts?
No.
Excellent. With that, we'll look at an adoption of the meeting minutes from our June 13th meeting. Does anybody have any amendments for the minutes? Can I have a motion to approve them?
To accept.
Roger makes a motion to accept. Is there a second? Ian makes a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries unanimously. With that, a fund update report from Richard Smith. Richard is the Director of Business and Project Development for the Power Authority.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, you have in your packets the fund update report for the Northern New York Economic Development Fund dated June 2018. I'd like to review that with you now. Total deposits to the fund to date is equal to $3,507,000. Total interest earned on deposits to date is equal to $29,217, which makes total funds deposited $3,536,217. As to expenditures, total administrative expenses withdrawn still stands at zero. Disbursements to grantees amounts to $116,777, making the current fund balance $3,419,440. As to awards, there has been standard projects awarded in the amount of $1,100,000, and there have been no energy-related awards. So this makes the total fund benefits available to be awarded by the Northern New York Power Proceeds Allocation Board $2,436,217. By statute, 15% of the fund is dedicated to energy-related projects. This amount now stands at $526,050. Today's recommendation includes a standard project in the amount of $200,000. The fund is supported by 20 megawatts of St. Lawrence County economic development power. There is additional detail on the back of the fund update report. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them now.
I have a question. Richard, is it your experience in Western New York that the energy-related projects, are they more difficult to fulfill? I mean, we have none yet. Is that consistent with what you've seen in Western New York, or is there a...
Yeah, it tends to be a little more challenging.
Okay.
It's not to say that they don't come in, but we generally don't see them right off. Sometimes we have to maybe even go out and look a little harder for those.
Okay.
I will say that it's a very broadly defined category. So we're not, well, energy related can be anything that involves energy efficiency or improvements, wind turbines.
So
It
generation.
can be very broad.
Okay.
Right.
I have a question
Sure.
too. The administrative expenses withdrawn, under what conditions are there administrative expenses?
You know, I don't know that. We have exactly the same situation in the Western New York Fund. There has been no administrative expenses withdrawn at all. My recollection, and it's not much, is that that is allowed, but it's never been taken advantage of. I don't know, Karen, do you have any thought on that? No. Okay.
I don't.
How long is that fund? How long has that fund been in place?
I'm sorry.
How long has that fund been in place?
Western New York?
2012, I think it was.
Okay, so none in
Yes.
6 years?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Sorry.
Anything else?
Anybody else have any questions on the fund report? Don't need any action on this because it was informational in nature. We'll move down on the agenda to the award of fund benefits proposed from the Northern New York Economic Development Fund, Round 4. Trish Wilson, the Northern New York Project Manager, would you please present the recommendations for this round?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Copies of today's recommendation were provided electronically in advance of the meeting for your review, and they're also in front of you in your meeting packets for your reference during this review. In this fourth round of allocations for the board to consider, staff is recommending an award of $200,000 from the Northern New York Economic Development Fund to Kingston Pharma, LLC, in support of a facility acquisition and expansion project in Messina. Kingston Pharma is primarily focused on the manufacture of liquid dose, over-the-counter store brand and private label products, including cough, cold, allergy products, analgesics, gastrointestinal products, and nutraceuticals in a U.S. FDA-registered facility located at 5 County Route 42 in Messina. This project includes exercising the buyout option on the lease for that facility and expanding their footprint by 10,000 square feet to house additional production equipment and warehousing space in order to meet growing demand for their products. The total project cost is $2.2 million, which includes the cost for acquisition, the 10,000 square foot expansion, and the new production and packaging equipment. Aspects of this project that present a strong case to support a recommendation for fund benefits: it helps an existing Messina company in a growing industry. It retains 12 full-time equivalents and results in the hiring of 45 new full-time equivalents over the next 3 years. Supports $2.2 million in capital investment in the region. Encourages export activity, which further contributes to the region's economic strength. And it aligns with the priorities of the North Country Regional Economic Development Council, as well as New York State's priorities to develop businesses in the life sciences. Unless anybody has any questions, I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Chairman.
Does anybody have any questions? Could I have a motion to adopt the staff's recommendations?
So moved.
Barry Phelan makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Roger Charlo. All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. The motion carries. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, October 10th. Same place, same time. Before we move on and close, do any members have any other business they'd like to bring up or any items they would like to discuss? I think we've had a handful of projects now approved. Any thoughts on today manufacturing project? Is there any sense from fellow board members? I'm just curious if there's stuff you've seen that you're more interested in than anything else.
I'm just impressed with each of the projects that we've helped fund. I think they all present a very solid case, and again, and it's a tough area in Northern New York. We anytime we can help to maintain and create additional jobs and fund that, I think that it's a win-win all the way around. So I just think it's great to be a part of that.
There is a unique range of what this program can do.
Absolutely.
Even when you talk about within that 15% pool, there's a wide range of what can be done, let alone the other 85%.
And two, just another quick value, the fund can entertain and be used for working capital, which is a great benefit, as opposed to, say, Empire State Development incentives that cannot be used for working capital. So there's a very, very nice component there
Okay.
that brings a lot of benefit to projects.
That in mind as we're out and around talking. All right, with that, I believe we're done. Can we have a motion to adjourn? Ian Maxwell, is there a second?
Second.
Roger Charlo, we're adjourned. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Motion
Bye.
carries.
Thank you.